Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and let's talk about how it's only 100 days until my wedding. All right, friends, so I thought this would be kind of a fun video to film and do like a fun check-in on because we are officially under 100 days until my wedding, which is so crazy. I'm so excited for this. I'm looking so forward to this. So I thought we could talk about how the planning process has been, the things that I still have left to do, the things that I'm excited about, the things that have been more stressful than I thought they were going to be. Let's just talk about the wedding planning process, shall we? Let's get into it. So, first of all, let's talk about the big things. Obviously, I'm going to keep a lot of this vague because, it's the internet and it's a little more private, but we are getting married at the end of April and have pretty much been engaged now for over 9 months. Is that my right? Is that the 8 months? We've been engaged for about 8 months. We got engaged mid-April of 2025, getting married end of April 2026. So we've had about a year-long engagement, or will have about a year-long engagement, and the process for wedding planning so far has actually been pretty, I want to say easy, but I don't want to jinx myself. So it's been pretty good. I will say though, for every vendor that I've talked to, I've been told I'm pretty type A. So keep that in mind. I love a spreadsheet. I've had a year, so I started planning, I would say probably beginning of the summer. So I think I took a couple months. I don't remember exactly when we officially started planning, but I'm going to say like mid-summer, we were making decisions more concretely. So let's take a step back and start there. So the main thing that we figured out once we actually started the wedding planning process was obviously where we were going to do it, because that was going to determine obviously our budget, our date, the amount of people we could invite, just a lot of things obviously are mainly tied around with the venue, which is I think a pretty well-known thing. So we decided on our venue, I think beginning of August, I think was when we officially nailed down the date for that. Sometime in the summer, we officially nailed it down. We did try and look at a few. I think we looked at about 4 different other venues, and I did a ton of research. So we called a bunch of places. And then the reason we ended up at the place that we're doing it at is because we wanted a place that was a little bit more unique, a little bit different. And that's kind of how we decided on where we were going. And it had a lot included. So the food, the catering was all part of the entire package of what we would end up paying, which was a big deal for us. So that was a big reason. So catering being included, we really loved the venue, and then that determined our date for the wedding, obviously, as well as how many people we were allowed to invite, which is going to be around 120 people, which for us is perfect because I think by the time it's all said and done, we'll probably have anywhere between 100 and 120 people, I think, in attendance, which I think for us, we didn't want a huge wedding. We don't want a ton of people there. So for us, 100 to 120 is actually bigger than we originally were thinking, which is really nice. The venue also allowed for the ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception to all be in the same place too, which was ideal because I don't like traveling to different locations if necessary for a wedding. So we wanted everything all in the same spot. So venue has been taken care of. We have a couple fun things with that we're looking at. I also hired a wedding coordinator. So a month of wedding coordinator, which I was really, really excited about because for me, Kate and I decided pretty early on that we wanted to pay more for less stress. So we aren't exactly doing a DIY budget wedding. I will say that right out the gate. But we ended up deciding that it was worth the stress for us to pay more money for other people to take care of a lot of the headaches of certain aspects of the wedding. So we do have a wedding coordinator both with the venue and with ourselves, just one that we hired to work with us directly and work with the venue. And then we also paid pretty good money for a florist that was recommended by us, fire coordinator, as well as a DJ that was recommended by the venue and has worked with the venue before. And then, like we said, the catering was incorporated within the venue. So that was all taken care of. What else? The things that were taking a long time to actually nail down, which for me was surprising, was actually hair and makeup. So I had a very specific look in mind that I wanted to do for the wedding. I'm not personally someone that wears a ton of makeup on the day-to-day basis. it's a more special occasion. Most of the time I just throw like lip gloss and mascara on and call it a day. So I had a really specific look that I wanted to do for the wedding, and it took such a long time to find A, the right person that would do the look that I wanted, B, wouldn't be so insanely expensive, and C, was within the area that we wanted to as well. Because a lot of people either wouldn't respond when I reached out to them, weren't the right price point that we wanted, didn't quite have the look that we wanted. So I've gone through a couple rounds. I went through a couple rounds of vendors for both hair and makeup and love the two people that I ended up deciding to go with. So fingers crossed that all works out, because I think out of anything, that's the thing I've been the most stressed out about. Attire. I've also realized that for the attire for the girl is a whole different experience than the attire for the guys. We actually just went recently with Caden to get him tried for his and sized for his suit. We're doing a custom suit for him, which I think is going to be really cool, because then he can have something really special and something he can use for multiple occasions. So that's going to be really, really exciting, I think, for him. But regardless, we decided to go custom suit for him. And then I found my dress back in September, which was really exciting. I ended up going to 2 different shops and found my dress, actually the first shop we went to, but I ended up doing something a little unconventional with my dress. And I loved the dress at the place that I tried it on. I had a bunch of friends and family with me when I tried it on. It was a really fun moment. I actually ended up finding it cheaper at a different location for a Black Friday sale. So I actually bought the dress from a place that I did not try it on, which I used to work at David's Bridal, and that's a pretty, I don't recommend that, but it actually ended up being a really good setup. So yeah, so that was really great, and I loved that. So hopefully that comes in soon, because that's the one thing that's still up in the air for the wedding, is when my dress is going to be in, because I'm definitely going to need some alterations. So we'll figure that out as we go. I think I'm probably going to end up doing like a 3-month check-in before the wedding, if you guys are interested, and then maybe a 1-month check-in before the wedding. Let me know if you guys are interested in this series, because I think it's kind of fun to kind of talk through the wedding planning process and just where we're at this point. So yeah, what else do you guys need to know? We have the DJ, we have the food, we have the flowers, we have the officiant. That was also a fun conversation, because we wanted a friend to marry us. So we wanted someone that was close to us. We're not super close to any sort of pastoral figure at this point in our lives. So we originally had a friend who is a really close friend of ours, and he is unable to do it. So we have another friend that has been able to do it, and we actually met with him last week to start talking through the ceremony and different things like that. So that's been really, really exciting as well, to just see that process start to come together, see the ceremony start to come to life. I'm really, really, really excited for the ceremony. I think I'm the most excited for the ceremony, because I think it's just going to be a really special romantic time. I think Caden's the most excited for the reception once our first dance is done. No question, because he hates attention. So pretty much all of the big stuff at this point has been taken care of, which is really exciting. Now it's the details. So what's still left to do on my to-do list? I don't even know if I can figure this out post-editing. Taylor, best of luck. But basically, as a checklist, these are the things that still need to be completed in the next 100 days. Biggest thing at the top of my list is going to be the signage. That's a huge one we need to figure out, along with the dessert, which needs to be nailed down and finalized and figured out, as well as the details. So table settings, table seating chart, logistics of the linens that we're gonna do. It's kind of all down to the nitty-gritty now. So it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited. I have a friend who's a really great illustrator who's actually going to be creating a lot of the signage for the wedding for us, which I think is going to make it so much more unique and special, and I'm very excited for that. But yeah, other than that, I know this is kind of a quick rapid fire video. I just kind of wanted to do a fun check-in for 100 days till the wedding. I'm so excited. I have so many fun things planned and so many cool, unique things that I think will make the video, or the wedding, not the video, make the wedding really, really, really special. So yeah, I think if you guys are interested, maybe let me know down in the comments below. Maybe we can do a Q&A for the video, for the next video that we do for the wedding, of what you guys want to know within this process, how it's been, anything else that you guys have on your minds. Maybe Caden can jump in the video with me. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you guys are interested in seeing. I would love to chat with you guys more about this process. It's been so fun. I've pretty much been doing everything myself, not because Caden doesn't want to, but because I am a control freak of a person and because I just wanted him to focus on the honeymoon, which he is planning and doing a great job. So this is no shame on him whatsoever, more so me because I just had a specific idea in mind that I wanted for the wedding, as well as I figured it was just easier for him with his work and focus to be able to focus on the honeymoon. So yeah, other than that, I know this is a quick check-in, but if you guys do have any questions, I think it would be fun to do a Q&A. So let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions about the wedding process, what we're doing, yeah, how it's been. But yeah, other than that, subscribe to see more of my face, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!